For years, I thought I just wasn't disciplined enough, and turns out I was wrong. Turns out it wasn't actually discipline that was playing a part, and when I actually realized what it was that was holding me back, everything changed. And this all started when I was trying to, work on myself, right? And obviously, as guys in self improvement, you're probably someone who's seen plenty of self improvement stuff. And for me, it felt like there was so much to work on, and sometimes even still now. I felt like I needed to improve in every aspect of my life just simultaneously, or I just wouldn't be in the position I want to be. I wouldn't be the guy I want to be, and I just wouldn't really get anywhere. And I found myself very inconsistent in a lot of areas. Now, fitness I was okay with, right? That was something which I had sort of been in for quite a while since lockdown. And so that was fine. But in other areas of my life, perhaps certain habits and hobbies I was trying to learn or improve on, or perhaps even certain, bad habits that people were telling me were bad, I just wasn't able to get past them. I wasn't able to achieve the outcome that, people were talking of. And the reason being is that I noticed pretty recently that this was because this was stuff other people were telling me I should do and not stuff I actually wanted to do. I mean, if you think about people, perhaps that just got into the gym, like, the traditional thing is like, perhaps someone gets a doctor call or a health scare and all of a sudden they're now in the gym. Why weren't they in the gym beforehand? Because it wasn't painful enough. It wasn't a issue and it wasn't something that was important and meant something to them at the time. Right? Which is why it's like, for example, I could sit here and I could tell you, you should go to the gym, you should try and, make loads of money and you should do XYZ and learn this hobby and learn this language or whatever it might be. And sure, there's going to be benefits to all of that. But if it doesn't feel important to you at the moment, you're not going to find consistency in it because you're not going to need to do it, right? So, for example, learning languages was something for me, right? Where I was trying to learn things like Spanish and I just didn't, I could never seem to be consistent with it, right? And I wondered why, and I thought, oh, well, maybe it's just, discipline and something like that. And actually, I realized I don't actually really care about this that much. Sure, it's okay, but it's not that important to me, or at least not at the moment. And that was really important because I realized, if it's not actually that important to me at the moment, then what else have I perhaps been neglecting or almost falsely assuming that it was just a lack of discipline when actually I just didn't really care about it? And so I think really the question to start asking yourself is if there are areas in your life where you perhaps feel a bit inconsistent in or a bit lazy in, just ask yourself what that means to you, right? Is this something you actually want to do or you actually want to improve on? Or is it stuff other people tell you that you should do and that you should improve on? Because I feel like unless there is a genuine emotional attachment to that said thing, that said outcome that means a lot to you, you're not really going to see as much consistency, or at least you're not going to get as far as you could get with that said thing. So, for example, I can eat pretty much the same two meals every single day for the longest period of time. I think I've probably been doing that for the past few years. Obviously, some meals differ, but majority speaking, the same two meals. Why can I do that? Because I've got a strong emotional attachment to just wanting to be in good shape, wanting to feel good. The meals I eat help me just with my energy, help me with my focus, right? And I know that I had a painful state a couple years ago when I was bulking, when I was eating loads and loads of carbs and some processed foods. And I had loads of brain fog, loads of bloating. And it's like, I don't want to delve back into that, right? I've now got this emotional attachment and there is pain, right? I want to get away from that pain and be in this, I don't know, more pleasant state. And that can go for a lot of things. But overall, I just wanted to sort of just share that with you because I found that there was so much that I was doing or trying to do that I didn't actually care about that much at the time. And everyone's priorities are different in terms of what they're focusing on at the moment, right? Obviously, like probably back in lockdown, it was just focusing on physical stuff. And then now I'm focusing more on, I don't know, I guess the more financial and work-based stuff. But the point remains is that ask yourself the questions on what you genuinely feel is important to you at the moment. What stuff have you been working on that you don't actually care so much about at the moment? And what stuff means a lot to you to work on? Because at the moment, the stuff that means the most to me to work on is creating this content and being able to develop video games at the moment. So hopefully you found this video useful. Ask yourself those questions and I'll chat soon.